liked a lot, and I did a T-shirt for her.
Yeah.
And the excitement on her face, like she just blew up. I'm like, wow, okay,
Oh, so
maybe
it's
we
a
are
love
onto
story.
something. The major deals are done outside the office.
Yeah, exactly.
The office is just for admin.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the encounter that you make with the person. It's an opportunity for you to actually sell that to each individual.
I see what
Grew up,
Yeah.
so like I look at also things like depression and all that stuff. Like, I don't think we had that, eh? Because they'll beat the living crap out of you.
Yeah, yeah. How are you guys? We about to blow up. All the way up. I just want to give you that idea that this is a space whereby you can let loose, sit back, relax.
Welcome to the next thing that's gonna blow up. And in this show, I sit down with some of the incredible people that are shaping different industries and fields. And today, I've got none other than Kennedy, the man behind the No Limit brand, the Gucci of Swaziland. And I'm a proud owner of some of the merchandise that he's wearing. If you see me rocking this shirt, just know it is from No Limit brand. I even know I've got this other dope sweater. Please go check out on my on the TEDx platform. There's another fire. I'm telling you, people, it's like the dopest brand in the kingdom of Swaziland. And today we're sitting down with him to really understand, some of the struggles and challenges that he's been facing with the brand, as well as the challenges that he has overcome. So today, Mr. Kennedy, welcome to the show. Thank you very much.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
I feel privileged.
Yeah, it's been a minute since we last talked, eh?
Yeah,
It's been a minute.
It has. Eh? I remember the first time we met there by Checkers.
Yeah,
Business
we checked
Park.
23, 28. Yeah, it was a fire conversation, and I was like, you know what? We need to do this on the podcast because you were spitting jewels all through and through. I'm like, no. Please stop. Let's go and do this in the studio so that the audience back there can also hear what you've been cooking. So, I've just been doing a lot of research about you, and I noticed one thing, before No Limit Brand,
Yeah.
you were a rapper or what happened?
No. I was just into hip hop quite a lot. Yeah.
You were into hip hop?
Yeah. Like it influenced a lot of my decision makings now,
All
even
right.
in the clothing industry.
Oh, but you never really sang anything.
My friends from
Oh, you-
Mozambique, yeah, those guys were like on point. So
Alright.
as much as I tried, like getting featured,
Yeah.
yeah,
Ah.
yeah. So it would be just like a small section of it.
Oh, so you want to drop a bar for us?
No. I tried that. Like, it failed.
Oh,
this
it
one.
failed, yeah.
But I was a very good critic, and I think I had a good taste in music.
All right, no,
Yeah,
that's really dope.
Yeah.
But anyway, No Limit Brand started in 2014, if I remember very well.
Yes.
Yeah. What motivated, the creation of the brand?
So, like, I think the previous time we spoke, I was very much into anime, like Japanese anime.
Okay.
Yeah, so we used to watch that quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a sign, because it evolved, eh?
Yeah.
From what it is now.
No.
The brand just took on its own, like, direction.
Yeah, I see.
So I took the sign for the Japanese no,
Uh-huh.
and I was just fascinated. It's like it just kept coming back to me over and over.
Yeah, I think you if I check my thing, you said, I mean, in your profile it was MTL.
Or MTL is actually okay. That's another thing. Mozambican side, straight out of MTL.
Okay.
It's Matola.
Matola. Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
So I'll tell you about that. Yeah. But it's just some of the guys that I've worked with.
Or that you've worked with.
Yeah,
And then there was the other thing I saw. Is it God Can?
Yeah.
There are
God
those with-
Can. God Can was actually the first thing that started the No Limit
brand.
Yeah.
All right.
So what happened is with No Limit brand, the way it has evolved. First, it started off as a, okay, let me just do the clothing brand. But then I was like, but I don't want to limit myself. Like, I want this to go outside the world. But I wanted to make sure that everybody understood that it's from Africa.
All right, I see.
So even if I had to move from Swaziland and then
Mm.
move to another country, I must be able to create that platform to celebrate the cultures of different countries.
All right, I see.
So I didn't want to have no limit, and that's how.
Oh, that's where the
Yeah.
name comes from. There is
Yeah,
no
yeah, yeah.
limit to the brand.
Yes, the
And there's-
creativity.
there's no limit to the creativity.
Yes, yes.
I see. No, that's actually interesting. Particularly the part where you mentioned about you didn't want if you were going to leave the country,
Yeah.
you still wanted that identity. The
Yeah.
African identity.
Yes.
Where does that come from? Even the T-shirt you're rocking today. I don't know if you
Yeah.
guys are seeing that fire T-shirt.
Tribal.
Yeah. Why really the African roots?
I think
Why does it matter to you?
my personality, I like to hang around with people that are real.
Okay.
I don't like to discriminate. So you find that wherever I go, I get along with people. Even the elders, they always used to say, "Man, you got so much respect for older people."
I see.
And that you learn a lot because then they put all these blessings to you. So then I did more about Africa, just studying more about how we are, the spirit of Ubuntu. It just filters all the way. So I think I fed off that.
I
you know,
see.
and then you look at some of the challenges I faced, especially when I was in Pretoria. That neighbor thing does not work there. In town, it's very, very hard to say you're going to the neighbor and you're going to ask for some brown sugar. or you're
Yeah?
gonna ask for,
Oh, it's not like that in Pretoria.
It's not like that. There you have to hustle.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You're on your own, eh?
Yeah, no, it's a different.
But then when you come to Swaziland, your neighbors, they still that spirit of helping each other when someone is suffering. So I wanted to impart that with the clothing brand. You connect with the people
All right, I see.
wherever you go.
Oh no, it's good.
Because then they promote you as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Wherever they go, because it's a relationship between you and the client.
No, I would have bet that SA still has got like the spirit of Ubuntu. I mean, Ubuntu. That's everybody in every movie that's out there, and they're speaking of the spirit of Ubuntu. They're probably in South Africa when they're shooting that shot, or it's some South African that they're trying to put in the movie, and they're showing the spirit of Ubuntu. And you're sitting today, and you're telling me that there is no Ubuntu there.
Your action has to tell.
Yeah.
You can't just say it out. So
Yeah.
the feedback that you get from people when they speak to you, I'll give you an example. When we're in Pretoria, I used to have a lot of friends come to my house. I never used to lock the house.
I see.
So even if I'm not around, then one of my friends will come.
Yeah.
They'll always find the door.
It's open.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. And people are
So-
talking about all these stories of thieves in Pretoria.
No. You attract the people that who you are as an individual.
I see.
You can always tell the energy. Yeah. So most of the guys that we grew up with, the wealth, even though they're from the rich families, but when we are together, it was always be like we people.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
see.
So during the suffering process, we bonded on that.
I see.
Everybody contributed something. So we're still good friends till now.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So
Didn't
the,
you have
the
like-
brand, it's just that.
It's just
Getting
that
along with people and
getting
making
along
them
with
feel
people.
like they are worthy.
the connection to the community. It's quite interesting, especially leaving your door open. I don't know if I can be able to do that.
I know.
You'll find the whole fridge done with some of the friends I have.
Yeah. But they used to bring food as well.
Oh, they used to bring food as
so
well.
It was just sharing, I really had a good time. I won't lie. Like everybody chipped in, even if we're drinking, they would
Yeah.
always bring let's go to Ken's house.
Yeah.
Then we'll play hip hop, we'll play some comedy, stand up comedy, play chess.
Yeah.
So reading books as well, Yeah.
Interesting. It was like
So-
a good group, eh?
It was a very good group, we formed quite a tight bond. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. And then, did it start in SA or you were now back here in SD?
Well, informally, it started in SA. So my dad actually bought me a screen printing machine, a very small one. I didn't know how to use it.
Yeah.
And back then, YouTube were not really very.
Yeah, exactly. It
So
wasn't
we
that popping.
just
Yeah.
went to the company that actually sold us the
Mm.
machine. Like, okay, this is what you do and all that. We experimented it,
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, there was this one girl that I actually liked a lot, and I did a T-shirt for her.
Yeah.
And the excitement on her face, like she just blew up. I'm like, wow, okay,
Oh, so
maybe
it's
we
a
are
love
onto
story.
something. Yeah, part of it, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
alright.
So yeah, from there on, then you start doing people's personal. Because I think there was a shift that was going on.
Yeah.
You know, people didn't want to wear these international brands. They wanted to wear something that
That's local.
they can relate to. Yeah. So
I think that's actually the biggest part about your brand. You know, it's not only personally I don't like the term supporting local.
yeah.
I like supporting quality.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, and I feel like there's a lot of people out there. They are creating. It could be music, art, or clothing, and then when they are selling, they want to make you feel pity. Like,
Yeah.
yo, please support me.
Yeah, you
I'm
know,
like,
I don't like that
Exactly.
mentality.
exactly. It's like, please support me. Like, why should I support you? Just
Yeah.
if it's a good brand,
I won't even have
Yeah,
to ask.
you
I'll
want-
just come to you. like,
exactly.
yo,
You want question.
that.
I think that's something that you've achieved with your brand. Like, just giving us quality, and that's why I've seen people in Greece. They are rocking No Limit brand.
Yeah.
I'm seeing people in the States. They
Yeah.
are rocking No Limit brand, and it's the quality. How did you manage to achieve the quality?
So I think then we're going to now Father Martin, my mentor.
All right, yeah.
This Irish priest.
Mm.
So he was very picky. Like, you know, whenever you did something, he had the money.
Yeah,
He could actually organize the money,
yeah.
but you needed to give him something that would also make him look good.
I see.
Yeah.
Ah.
So I started investing in fabric.
Mm-hmm.
Then we started doing some campaigns that he was doing, like women empowerment.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one we did was African continent with the woman carrying like water, and she's carrying a baby
Mm-hmm. I see.
at the back. Yeah.
All right.
And then we did about 300 of those, and
The T-shirts.
yeah.
All right.
So we gave them away,
Oh, interesting.
and then it was some informal education for him. So that was the same time when God Can also was like
Was being produced.
starting to come
Yeah.
into the picture.
Okay.
So I had the mentality, okay, he's a priest, maybe I should do something that's godly.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. Oh boy, was I wrong. Oh, I think when it comes to this church thing,
Yeah.
you can't just go to anybody. Like, he was always telling me, don't mix business and then bring church as well. 'Cause,
Yeah.
when it's church time, it's church,
It's church
time.
time.
When it's business, so that
is-
we don't clash.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you don't take advantage. So it's like, okay. So he asked me, what is it about God Can? Like, why did you do the God Can sweater? And then I told him, like, God Can, I believe that, if you put your energy out there, like, God can actually somehow bring it back to you.
I see.
And then he's like, okay, then I have a task for you.
Yeah.
Why don't you do 100 of these sweaters using your own money and just give them away? I
Yeah.
got so pissed off. I'm
Yeah.
like, what's wrong with
What's
this
wrong
guy?
with this guy?
So only because what happens is whenever somebody tells me something, sometimes I do not process it there and there.
I see.
Yeah, even if I had an argument with my wife and all that, if she say we have to discuss this now,
No.
I'm gonna say things that
Yeah.
won't make sense and all that. I
Exactly.
need to go and
And process.
process that. So I got home, I thought about what he said, and then the informal thing that he said, like, if God can, like, he always bring back to you. So then I realized that if you take 100 of these T-shirts and give them away to individuals,
Yes.
people are gonna start noticing that
Uh-huh.
these T-shirts are nice.
Exactly.
Where do you get them from? And each of those 100 people will probably bring back maybe 6 people
Yeah, I
to
see.
you. Like, this is the guy who's doing them.
Exactly.
So from 100 now you've got 600.
600, yeah. That's
So
like
that was the psychology behind that. And then I was like, okay, no, let me try and do that. But I didn't. But I got the message.
All right,
Yeah,
I see
because
what
I
you
wasn't
mean.
financially ready.
Yeah,
To do that.
exactly.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
make out 500 and see if God can.
Yep. And that is the philosophy I've always used. you know.
Yeah.
So even my marketing strategy,
Uh-huh.
I do not advertise where I go to the studio, shoot somebody, and then
Uh-huh.
I always politely ask my clients, like,
Mhm.
when you get to where the top,
Mm.
please take a good picture and then
And send it to me.
And then I'll also inquire if I can post.
Mm-hmm. I see.
And then I'm also open because, like I said, No Limit is a platform.
Yeah, exactly.
Some people, like, they're actually good people out there. Ne?
Yeah.
They'll tell you, like, Ken,
Uh.
I saw this and I thought about you. I think this would work for you. And then we'll experiment it and then give it to the person. Then boom, it blows up.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. I'm wondering if it's a method that actually brings loyalty, because
Yes.
if I'm gonna get, because I'm seeing it's a word of mouth system that you're using. Like, Okudza's got this T-shirt, and then like right now, Sticks was just asking, "Yo, where did you get that
Yeah, you
T-shirt?"
see?
And then there's some form of loyalty that's created. But then, aren't the customers demanding now?
Oh, okay. So now it goes back to the quality. Part of the challenges that I've faced as a person
Yeah.
is this brand. It has evolved to almost like a limited edition.
I see. I
Yeah.
see.
So then you get people that will be like, "Yo, Ken, I love your stuff, but I don't want this to be like a lot." So the
Oh.
top clients.
I see, and then they're willing to pay for that.
Yes.
Ah.
So part of the way this has evolved is that this I cannot do mass production. It always has to be limited edition, and I must do it very well. Then I must charge.
So much.
Yes.
And then you cover for the
Yes.
I see. I
Yeah.
see.
So even if the economy like is bad and all that, you get all these people that are wealthy, like man, can you give me a T-shirt? So even if you're charging like 500-600 rand a T-shirt,
They're
they'll
gonna
buy,
pay for
yeah.
it. Oh, it's quite an interesting method.
Yeah.
It's quite an interesting. But how did you build the clientele though?
So like I said, I'm a very I don't know. I think I took after my mom. I'm a good guy. So whenever I sit with people, I give them respect and all that. And then if you have something very good quality, one person, you treat them very well, they'll go and tell somebody else.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
another thing is that you find that I used to do sales for my dad,
all right.
So I found that there were so many printers in the country. And then for you to get a deal, it was hard, eh?
Yeah, I see.
So you really had to, first they will put you in the front desk, and the woman in the front desk won't let you to the procurement guys. So you keep on trying. So I was like, I can't do this. Like, it's too much competition. I need to change the strategy.
The strategy, yeah.
That's when I started hanging around with the bigger guys. Because then you go behind, they just call you directly like, "Oh man, we need us to do this for the business. Just talk to my secretary." So my mentor actually told me that the major deals are done outside the office.
Yeah, exactly.
The office is just for admin.
Yeah.
So that's the strategy I used.
Oh, that's the strategy.
Yeah. So each person that I did something for, I'll put 110% in that. And then they'll be so happy at the quality, the print. I made sure that I did something that was not mainstream.
Yeah, exactly.
I didn't want to compromise. Each T-shirt for me meant a lot. Like,
yeah, exactly.
This is an investment. So when a person wears it and they feel the texture and everything, like, wow, where did you get this?
Exactly.
Then I'll be like, yo, man, this guy actually does them. Let me give you his number. So bit by bit, I started collecting like a portfolio of clients. Yeah. So now what I do is whenever I create something new, they are the first people that I call. Then I tell them I'm only making 20 of this. Do you want one? Then I have to go and show them. Like, yeah. Then they pick. Once it's done, we close that. We can make, but now you have to pay a little bit higher because we are told that you have to fall in that category.
It's quite an interesting method. I don't know how I could replicate this. Just
Ah.
get those.
No, you see, with every encounter that you make with a person,
Mm.
it's an opportunity for you to actually sell that to each
Mm.
individual.
I see what you
Yeah.
mean. Ah.
So as long as you're passionate about this,
Mm.
for me, I wake up at 3
Yeah.
and I go through a lot of videos, pictures, and what.
Mm.
So subconsciously, I'm taking in data.
I
And
see.
then when I'm printing for an organization or for an individual birthdays or anybody that's overseas, I always want the story behind. Like, what
Alright.
do you want?
Ah.
Then they'll tell me, okay, this is what we are having. These are the type of people we are having and all that. So it automatically filters and then it puts you in a certain category. Then I create that for you.
So it is actually limited edition, but
Yeah.
also tailor made
Yes.
to the requirements of the
Uh-huh.
client.
Yeah, personally.
I think that's where the genius is, because it's like it's mine. You have
Yeah.
got so much attachment to the value. I mean, to the cloth that you put so much value to it, and then you are willing to pay so much money for it because it's really like yours. But anyway, let me just take you a little bit back.
Yeah.
You spoke earlier about Father Martin,
Yeah.
and it makes me wonder if you are like a religious person.
Oh, yeah, a lot has changed, eh?
Yeah.
You know,
What's changed?
I look at the way life is now. I feel religion is supposed to be like at the forefront to making people's lives better.
I see what you mean.
And if you look at even some of the prints that I have now, there's one that I had like I'm so tired,
Yeah.
and the other one somebody's pouring coffee, but they're missing the cup, and they're saying I'm fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel life has become difficult, and people are not happy out there. They're just doing things out of survival.
I see.
And we don't have that love anymore. We don't have authenticity. People are not themselves anymore. So religion has kind of, shifted. I just decided, you know what, let me be a good person. I believe in God. There's a higher power out there. And I'm going to reflect that in everything that I do.
I see what you
I'm not gonna. It feels like now religion is like a politic.
Yeah, it's
So I'll just do what I need to do.
Oh, you just do good and trust the universe who will.
Yes, yeah. I'll put out good energy. I'll
Uh.
respect people. I do pray. I do things like earthing. I take a walk around nature. All that for me is like spiritual.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that influence your creativity though?
It does.
All right. How so?
Because I'm grounded,
Yeah.
This is Africa.
Yeah.
I can never leave Africa. Like,
Yeah.
this place is beautiful. Eh?
Yeah.
Like, even the people, once you find good, honest people,
Yeah.
it's worth everything.
I see.
Yeah.
Ah.
And my kids as well, I love having them around nature, them looking at all this touching and feeling, because being a creative, you have to be activated.
All right.
So you must just go out there and be. Yeah. Yeah.
I think the other time you're talking about the most creative time of the day.
Yeah.
Exactly. I wanna also get the audience to hear this because that was off the mic and that probably was our first conversation and I
Yeah.
still remember it very well. Could you just walk me through that period and what it means to a creative or to anyone out there,
Yeah.
Doing anything else?
So, one of the things that I learned from Father Martin, he always used to give me things to try out.
Okay.
So, when it comes to the creative part, between I could be wrong, but this is how it works for me. Between 2:30 a.m. and 3:30 a.m., there is some sort of energy that comes to you.
All right.
And if you have certain questions that maybe you might have paused or you need to try and solve, that is like the best time for you to enhance this energy, like for you to get
the
what
answers,
you need to do, the answers and all that.
All right.
So I've been doing that for a while. Like every time I'll create something, if I have a problem and all that, I'll look at this problem before I go and sleep, go back to sleep. Automatically, my body wakes up between 2:30 a.m.
With no alarm.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It's just automated. I wake up and then I look quick. So my work is done during that period of time.
All right.
Then in the morning, that's where I just push out everything.
Mm.
12, I'm done. And then after lunch, I just follow up on, what needs to be done.
Interesting.
Yeah. So even the office thing, my cell phone I learned my cell phone is the office.
Yeah.
I mean, I could do a job for almost $500,000 on my phone.
On your phone.
Because I have everybody in the network.
I
I don't need to travel and do all that. It's just a lot of things. So I get my graphic designer, tell him, please design this.
Mm-hmm.
If I need to make a quotation, I do it on my phone, send it to the client, they approve it. Graphic designer sends me the artwork, send it to the client, they approve it, send it to the printer.
It's done.
Start printing, yeah. Then all I do is then take the car, get the stuff, go deliver.
Interesting.
See, it's all, yeah. We've complicated all this.
Yeah, we have complicated. You're just working on your phone and making so much money.
Yeah.
Interesting, which makes me wonder how the journey has been. Because I saw the other time you were doing prints for Standard Bank, if I remember very well.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you getting all those big clients? Like, is it just still on your phone and you're just, or is the network that you've been talking about?
Yeah. So, people come to you at the last minute and they'll tell you, Ken, I need to go to this event and I don't have anything. Please make a plan for me.
Yeah.
So then you have to like scramble and do something for that person.
Yeah.
So when you do that, then this person is so happy. They wear the stuff and they'll be like, yo, Ken, the stuff you did for me, the compliments that I'm getting, I feed off that.
Exactly.
Because informally, women, there's so much competition. Even if you're not in a competition. Yeah.
There is a competition going on.
I've had people who didn't want to buy my brand because they looked down upon it.
Yeah.
And then when they see someone who they look up to wearing my stuff, then they'll be like, yo,
I need that.
Yeah, I need that as well. And by the time they come, then the price has gone up as well. They could have gotten it at a cheaper price. But yeah, so when you get to help people with such small things, you solve them. Automatically it sinks in. When they want T-shirts for the organization, they'll be like, no, this guy does good quality T-shirts. Let's try him out. So then I don't need to go enter the vendoring system and all that, because my work speaks for itself.
I see.
And then also these guys have friends. And when they meet up and they're like, oh, you're wearing Ken stuff. No, this guy is good. So they talk amongst themselves. Then somehow down you become the guy that
everybody goes to when they need to look fire.
Yes. And still maintain the quality.
As you're talking, I'm realizing something. You're actually solving a particular problem.
Yes.
It is not just about a T-shirt.
No.
This T-shirt is if correct me if I'm wrong, it is status.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
You are giving people status.
That's why they tell you, like, please don't replicate too much of these.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they won't buy.
They won't buy it.
So there are certain things that I don't market. I have certain clients, when they send you the pictures, they'll tell you, please don't post because of their position and all that. So it's just for me. So when I look at a person wearing something, for me, it's like data collection. It's like a feedback. Like, okay, what could I have done differently from what I'm doing now? How can I improve on this? Because they'll always come back every month. What do you have sometimes when they need something?
Yeah.
And then I know their profile, and then I'll be like, okay, I can have this made for you. And then like, okay, surprise me. Yeah. So now they just say, I trust your decision.
Yeah, just do something.
Just come up with something for me. Like, okay.
Interesting. So, but anyway, let me take you back a little bit. You spoke about your father earlier.
Yeah.
And if I remember very well, he was also in screen printing?
No. He was commercial printing, paper.
Or he was on paper?
Yeah. Things like calendars and reports. Yeah. Seat books.
So he's the motivation behind the printing.
Yeah, even though we hated that.
Wait, you hated where the motivation is coming from?
I think so.
Yeah.
My dad was a very, very, very strict individual. Like,
I see.
That man, he had a temper, anger. Very, very. So we didn't want to work around him, So as much as he had this company, you know, it was big,
Yeah.
but we didn't want to work,
Work
there
around
because
it.
it was a slave drive,
Yeah.
and he paid you little.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that was part of the endurance of when
Oh,
you
those were
start.
the lessons.
Yeah.
Uh,
Informal. So I've had a lot of informal lessons. I've learned a lot. I've been humbled. You know, I've suffered also as much. So there is nothing else to go back to but just to be a better person. Because now I can relate whenever somebody's saying, "Oh, I don't have this," you know. Yeah. So yeah, my dad, he made a lot of money in his time. I won't lie.
I see.
Yeah, I won't lie. But working for him was a nightmare. It was too much.
Interesting, but in what do you call it? Retrospection, is it? Or introspection? I don't know what's the word. He is the influence behind No Limit Brand.
Yeah. I won't deny that to him. You know, him actually making our lives hard made it like he made me want to do things for myself.
I see.
Because if I had it easy, then till today I'll still be depending on him.
On him, yeah.
I mean, there's a thin line between spoiling a child and giving the child something that you never had.
I see.
Yeah. So a lot of kids nowadays, like, they don't know the harshness that we grew up.
Yeah.
You know, so like I look at also things like depression and all that stuff. Like, you know, I don't think we had that. Because they'll beat the living crap out of you.
Ah, shit.
Like, as an African, I mean, look, Zambia. I'm from Zambia.
Yeah.
Man. Like, yo.
There's no
The sticks are everywhere,
Yeah.
so they'll just break that stuff and whoop.
You saying there's no depression?
Yeah, you know, you don't spare the road, man.
Yeah.
You gotta beat the kid up, you know. and
So
talk
your
some
pops
sense.
was like beating you like crazy as
Yeah,
kids.
man. The man had a shambok, you
Yeah.
know, that rubberish thing.
Yeah, I see.
If you flunk at school, you're seen with the girl, or you're messing up. Yo.
You are in for
You're
some
in
beating.
yeah, you know.
Oh,
Your brothers
interesting.
are there trying to comfort you, like, guy, you say,
Yeah.
we'll be here when you come out of that.
That's crazy.
No, my life. But and we're quite a lot. We're like 13 kids.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a
So
lot.
we grew up together, and we were together in terms of the pain and all
Oh,
that
yeah.
stuff. Yeah. So, hey.
How was your mom like though?
Oh, my mom. Okay. So when I left Zambia, I was 11 years old.
All right.
My mom and my dad never married. So
No, I see.
I came here, and my dad had a Swazi wife. A nurse. She was a very good woman. She actually raised me. Most of the good side of me, you know, came from her. She poured that even when I used to feel like lonely, and you know, because I would miss my mom, and sometimes I'll be crying on the corner and all that. And she really assured me, like, you know, this is your home. You know, you're welcome here. So yeah, she was a very kind woman. My mom. My mom, I think that's the person that I take after in terms of who I am.
All right.
Yeah, she was a very, very kind woman, but a lot of the relatives used to take advantage of that, you know. And yeah, it's unfortunate. It's just part of.
Yeah, it's crazy, and I feel like, you know, a lot of people do take advantage of the goodness of your heart,
Yes.
and it's something that's your character as well. I wonder if that's been a problem in the way you operate business, whereby, you know, clients want to actually take advantage of that. You know, Ken is a good guy. You can do this to him, and you won't complain.
Yeah, it is. There are some, and I struggle with that, because I don't need to tell you to be a good human being. Like, let's just do things right.
Exactly.
But you do get some clients, like, you know, they run a tab with you, whereby now, like, the money is so much, and you're trying to tell them, okay, guys, you gotta pay up, because I also need to pay my suppliers and all that. They suppliers give you credit because they know who you are.
Exactly.
So when one person does not pay, then it affects
the whole business. Yeah, the cash flow.
So I had to get somebody who's a bit more strict, like for a partner.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Or that's the guy who then push.
Yes.
Ah.
So then it also kind of he puts also these things like you have to tell me what you spend on and all that. Yeah, I struggled with that because as a creative person, I've always been, if I feel I need to do something, I must do it now, and I didn't look at the money part of it. Yeah. It was biting me. So yeah, it was a challenge, eh?
I
Yeah, because
see.
now you have to restrict yourself. So when
Mm.
you restrict yourself, then the creativity now has to pause.
Yeah.
And yet for me, I need to be around fabric and all that stuff, So
Mm.
it was insane.
But I feel like
But I'm adjusting.
those systems have actually helped you as a
Yes.
as a business.
Yeah,
whereby-
then you can do bigger jobs because you've got cash flow.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like it's one important tool that you need to learn as a business, knowing who you are.
Yes.
And I don't know
Your
who
strengths.
said this, is like a great CEO is one that can identify his weakness
Yeah.
and then employ people that have those strengths.
I had to get a partner as my boss,
I
even though
see.
the business is mine.
Yeah.
But I needed someone to restrain, someone who I can answer to. So every time I'm doing something, I have to think, okay, is this worth it? Do I need to do this?
I see.
Yeah.
How did you identify such a person?
Okay. So this gentleman, I went to high school with him.
All right. Here
Uh,
in SD. Wait.
Yes.
Oh, you did your SD here. I mean, your high school here.
Yes. So I think he was very advanced because he did accounting and
All right.
yeah, I think he had a very good network and he did good money choices in terms of investments and all that. So his portfolio is quite big. Like
Alright.
even the way he came into the picture is I sold him a sweater.
Ah.
I just met him like, you, bro, you
Yes.
haven't bought any of my sweaters.
Yeah.
What's the problem? He's like,
Yeah.
took out the money, like, yeah, get me one sweater of yours.
Uh.
So I did one for him. He was happy.
Uh-huh.
He wore it. He went to Cape Town
Mm.
for a business meeting. And then he came back, yo, Ken, your stuff, there's something about it. Like, I mean, a lot of people, like, for instance, the African continent, a lot of people I've seen do this stuff. But there's something about
Build
your
stuff. Yeah.
Africa that is different from the rest.
I
So
see.
then I was like, okay. Then he told me, like, yeah, let me invest into your business. Let me help you grow. And it's not like he needed the money.
Yeah.
He
I
just
see.
wanted to help me like grow as an individual.
Okay.
It's like, I'll teach you all this financial way of doing things and all that. I was like, okay, no, I think this is the right guy. I tried a few individuals in SA, here, Mozambique, and all that. What they used to do is I would make something for them. They would be so excited. And then I'll create stuff and send it to them like, okay, here. Then they will sell the stuff. They will take the money. Then
And
they'll
then
use
they'll-
it. Yeah. So I've kissed a couple of frogs.
I, I think that's the biggest lesson in business.
Yeah.
The business is hard.
It is.
It is not
Very,
as
very
simple as it is sold on the social media or whatever we see. And there's a really good friend of mine. He said people want to replicate the results, but not the process. And it is
Yes.
the process now where you are kissing these different frogs and you are getting banned.
Oh,
You know,
bruh.
but you just
I
have to
mean,
keep
look
on.
at the hair. It says it all.
All the gray hair is saying it.
Dude. You know, there were times where I even had a panic attack.
Serious?
Like
Yeah?
I've gone through that. You know, those friends. You know, the people criticize you. Like, you know, this guy is not going in. My own brothers,
Yeah?
some of them, they're like, this dude, because I used to smoke weed.
Oh shit.
So then they're like, this guy will never really amount to anything and all that stuff. You know, he's just always smoking and
Yeah.
listening to hip hop and all that.
Exactly.
But that was part of. I feel there is no such thing as evil or bad. You know, each experience that you go through in life, it's an opportunity to learn.
I see.
So all the mistakes that I've made and all that stuff, I needed to go and express that,
Exactly.
get it out of my system, so that when I move away from that,
You know.
no matter how bad situation is,
Yeah.
I'll never go back to that because I know how it feels like to be
Yeah, in that position.
Yeah. So you need to go through that. Don't ever deny yourself. If you feel like you need to do something,
Yeah,
do
do
it.
it.
But just remember that there will be consequences. You know.
Yeah.
And you'll be lucky if you come out of it alive. You know.
Yeah.
So just minimize the damage.
It reminded me also of this lady. She's like, you gotta live life like a scientist.
Yeah.
You know, scientists experiment and then find results.
Yes.
And also, Mo Giwat, I hope I'm saying his name right. He says, anything that you believe in but you've never experienced is an illusion.
Yeah, that's
know.
true.
I'm not, guys, if you're listening, I'm not telling you to do crazy stuff.
No.
But I'm just saying, we have so many beliefs around us, like so many crazy things that we believe, but we've never actually experienced.
They restrict you a lot.
Yeah, and then they restrict you. It's like this mental prison that you put
Yeah.
around yourself,
Yeah.
and then it confines you in your creativity. You believe
Yep.
no, I'm just an accountant,
Yeah.
and then you just believe like you're supposed to sit in an office or whatever.
I've seen that quite a lot.
Exactly.
Where people tell you they are not happy. They're in this environment and all that. And Father Martin always used to say, like, what are you doing about it? Because remember, 5 years from now on, if you haven't started doing something now, you'll still be in the same position. You'll still be saying the same thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So you need to add some sort of value to something that you love, even if it's just 5-10 minutes, every day.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's going to hedge itself. Like, it will be much better than where you are, so that when you leave, then this will be able to take care of the things that you need to do end of the month. So, yeah.
It's quite interesting. I never took you as a weed smoker.
I think that also, it depends also with the company you have.
Yeah.
For me, it was a controlled environment because we used to push our limits.
Yeah.
Playing chess when you're stoned, it was...
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll just be very competitive. So then the mind, is prone to that. It's just tuned to that. Like, this is what we're doing. No, we never did things that are crazy. So even people that will come and visit us, like, the rich kids and all that, like, the financial side will just disappear. And we just got along. Like, till today, we are very, very good friends. Yeah. So we passed that stage, We laugh about it, like, yo, man, I'm
those
glad
were
we
some
came
crazy
out okay.
times,
Yeah. But those are still some of the real guys.
It's quite interesting. It's been an interesting journey for you.
No, it has,
Yeah.
and I'm very grateful. Every day, it's just a lesson being learned. It's just that now I'm trying to find a way to educate, like through the T-shirts.
I see.
So some of the things that we're doing is the mental health with a lady called Celeste Jacobs. She's a psychologist. Yeah, a very, very good lady.
All right.
So she does training, and then I do some T-shirts for her. And then part of the proceeds of the T-shirts we donate to the mental health organization. Yeah.
All right.
So
I love the work you're doing, man. It's like there is a bigger picture, behind it. There's a bigger motivation. It's not only about people just fashion and everything.
It hasn't blown up yet,
Yeah.
but I know what I want to achieve, and it's not just Swaziland. It's everywhere else.
Yeah, but you're already tapping into the American market. I saw some people in the States.
Yeah.
How are you connecting? How are you getting those clients overseas?
Okay. So this still goes back to the word of mouth.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. I see.
So sometimes, like me, because I've been away from my country, there are times that you miss, your country.
Yeah. Exactly.
So you want to wear something that, comes from you. Or if someone goes to my country, I'll ask them, please bring some of this food, or if you can come through it, just so that you feel
exactly
your own self. So even when I print the African continent, like tribal and all that, I try and touch to the basic. If you're a Simelane, if you're a Zulu or whatever, I'll look at your culture and then try and incorporate some of that so that it's more specific.
It's for you. It's not for the crowd.
Yeah. So you've got your country, then you've got your surname, you've got your family. It filters all the way down. So people that go there, like, oh, okay, my sister is coming to the States and I want something from Swaziland. So automatically people then just think of, okay, Ken is the only guy that can give you something that I want. So then they'll call me, I'm going, like right now I have to go and meet some lady. She's a diplomat in the States.
All right.
She wanted a couple of items to go with.
Oh, I see.
So it's that, and then the other one from England. The sister is going this weekend. So I did a tracksuit for her. Yeah, and she saw this through these people like from MTN as well. Yeah, so all of that, I guess we are all connected.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and we all watch each other and what people are wearing. So clothing I think is the best thing, like, to feel that whole attachment.
It's quite interesting, the way you've built this network of people all over that vouch for your work, and then
Yeah.
you build off of those people, because I mean, when she's gonna or he's gonna go to the States, they're gonna see it. They're like, "Yo, this is Kenny," and then the brand. It's literally like a limited edition that only sells through word of mouth, not through any other. It's like what they say about these big brands, like what do you call it, Rolls Royce. You never see it in the
don't
newspaper.
advertise it,
It's
yeah.
I don't even know where it's sold.
Nope. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's probably the same way you are doing your system. But I'm wondering if you have faced any competition, people that are trying to replicate the same system that you're building, and how have you managed, to stay above the water?
Well, okay, so I try and not think about the word competition because from what I've learned from Father Martin is that I looked at him as an Irish person being here in Swaziland.
Yeah.
He wanted funding for his women empowerment that he used to do at St. Anne's.
All right.
And he went to Conco.
All right.
I think the CEO, the managing director there was from Ireland.
All right.
They met, they discussed, okay, this is what I want. The following day, the money was sent to him.
Oh.
So it's like, you do not lose anything by helping anybody, If you can help someone, help them. And besides what do you call this? The African continent, as much as it's not a patent, for me, it's the relationship as well. The relationship that I have with people. I don't just sell you something and then, you disappear. So I communicate with you from time to time. How are you doing? Is the sweater okay? Are you proud? How are people responding to that?
Exactly.
So then it becomes like a relationship. So we communicate with all these people. And the energy that you give out, you keep bringing back. So then they'll always tell you, my friend saw the sweater that I'm wearing, I'm just trying to find someone who's coming this side. The Greece one, it was a lady who owns a school, jail in Manzini.
All right.
Yeah, so I used to do her autism T-shirts for the school. And then also some sweaters. So people always notice you. They keep an eye on your page.
Yeah.
Until an event comes up where they need something that only you can do for them, then they call you.
I see.
So yeah, from there they take for their families, relatives, and all that. And then the relatives, like I said, we are all connected.
Exactly.
It's the Facebook concept,
Exactly.
each person knows somebody that will help you,
So there is no, I think the way you're actually building the brand, there's no direct competition because it is based on the network. It's who you know.
I know who I am. And
exactly.
If I focus too much on the competition, I might drop the ball. Yeah, for me, I just need to make sure that whenever I give out something, and I always make sure that if you're not happy with something, you bring it back. It's either I give you your money back or I do another one for you.
All right.
I will lose the money there, but I still maintain the client. Yeah, so I've had a lot of those as well.
Yeah.
It's not. It hasn't always been like
a smooth ride.
This is good stuff. They will send you pictures and like, oh, this is messed up, and it's because sometimes I'm not there and I'll delegate like,
to somebody.
Can you please sort this client out and do this and this. But if you don't share the same vision that I have as a person that's working for me, then you're not gonna give the person what I want it to be like. So some things are done quickly and then they'll complain, okay, no, it's fine. Let me redo that for you on the house. And then sometimes I'll throw in an extra just so that they feel like, okay, no, you're forgiven.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's been a lot of that. I've lost a lot of money, but at the same time, the network is still good. Yeah. It's just part of the journey.
What is the biggest challenge you have faced with the brand?
It's actually fabric.
Finding the quality?
Yes.
All right.
Because you have to go to a factory where they make you the fabric that you want. But then the factory needs you to have a minimum order. And the minimum order can only be one color.
Yeah.
So if you say you're buying 5 rolls and it costs you maybe like 60,000, it can only be black.
Yeah.
If you want white, then it's another 60,000.
And you're
So-
making limited edition.
You see what I mean? That's why whenever I travel, I'm always scouting. Once I find something that it's like, yo, this is very good,
Good.
I'll buy it. I don't even have a second thought.
Yeah.
I think that's where my partner like, no, you gotta budget for this stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't have time for that. This thing might be gone.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah. So this fabric here,
Ah.
I got this day before yesterday, and I made this
Ah.
sweater.
No, it's
Not
looking
yet
fire.
branded, but I love the texture. I'm like,
Ah.
you know what? I know who I'm gonna make these
For.
ones for. Yeah, I'm only gonna do 10 of them, and then we're done.
That's it.
Yeah. So those are the challenges. And fabric comes once in a while, like you find it. But I'm always scouting, and I've told everybody that sells some of the tailors and some of the people that sell fabric, when they've got a premium fabric, they must call me.
I
Yeah,
see.
I pay for that. I don't
no
hesitate.
doubt.
Yeah. So that is
That's the
challenge.
biggest challenge
Yeah.
in your thing.
And the fear as well is that I cannot blow up yet because it's gonna be a problem in terms of delivery.
Yeah, exactly. The demand will be so high.
I did that in SA 2 years back, where I did the black on black with the leather.
Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah.
It picked up so well, and I could not fulfill the orders. So I had to push back, and I'm like, okay, maybe I need to up the price and then just have like some sort of maybe like a website and say there's only 20 of these or whatever.
Yeah.
And then when you open it up, then you have people buy. Once it's done, you
It's
close. Yeah. So I'm still looking for a person that will run the public relation of this whole
Of the
website
brand.
and stuff. Yeah. I think there's potential, to actually make money out of that as well.
No,
Yeah,
it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting, and you can't replicate the process also, because it's the creation is limited edition. You can't have like a lot of people.
Yes. You
It's
can't
gotta
have
be
too much.
Yeah,
people.
quality also will then be compromised. Yeah, it's a tricky business.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. The brand has spoken
Yeah.
of what it wants. So I've just made peace with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you have the middle class as well. And even if it's the middle class, I try and get you like the best quality.
I see.
Yeah, so that you don't think. Only when I'm doing samples, then I'll use like the simple cheap T-shirts. Like, okay, how did this come out? Okay, then we move it to the next.
To the premium quality.
Yeah.
Interesting, guys. If you want to be hooked up with premium quality clothing, I told you it's Gucci. You thought I was lying. This is the Gucci of Swaziland, No Limit brands, man. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Yeah.
I've learned a lot. I don't know how I'm gonna build a network of people that can support the podcast.
No. One after another.
One
Like,
after
yeah,
the-
yeah.
one
You
person at a
just-
time.
Okay, I do have a good network as well. I mean, you use the people that you are bringing to the podcast.
I see.
You understand? So if you want like to maintain these people that are influential, yeah, I mean, you just call like, hey, Ken, I saw this person, she does this and this. Can you speak to her? And then I connect you guys. Then they'll come through. I mean,
Exactly.
everybody's willing to help.
Yeah, exactly.
you know.
And then the brand
that's
grows.
that's what one people need to learn.
Yeah,
Once you help each other, we all win.
exactly.
There's no losing.
There's no
this.
losing.
Yeah,
This
yeah,
selfish thing, like, no,
Yeah.
this is mine.
No,
Nah, that's the thing.
yeah.
No.
It's toxic.
I see.
yeah.
I mean, we're two men sitting down that are not from the country that we're talking. I mean, we're sitting in at the
Yeah.
moment. And one thing that I do sometimes is, okay, do I really miss home? But yeah, sometimes I do.
Ooh, too much.
Sometimes I do. But I feel like, okay, Zimbabwe for me is
yeah.
my early years. I was in Zim, and then I left when I was transitioning to my teenage.
Yeah.
So I don't have like a click in Zim. Like when I go, I'm like, yo, guys, yo, it's been a
Yeah.
minute. I have like probably 2-3 people that, so missing home for me, it's, I'll be missing family.
Oh,
Yeah, I'll be missing
definitely.
family. Not like, I don't have stories where like I did some crazy things in Zim. I'm like, what, guys? You see, I don't have those kind of
I
things.
know. Sometimes it's just the environment.
Yeah, it's
My
just-
my family is in Livingston.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's just a feeling also being around your own people.
Yeah.
Understand? Not that I'm antisocial or whatever,
uh,
but there's some sort of power that you get if you're a Swazi
mm-hmm.
and you are in another foreign country and you meet another Swazi. there's that bond
Yeah.
that you get. You understand?
Yeah, I can
So
attest to that.
for me,
yeah.
I just to be in the streets of Zambia and just listen to people speak that native language.
Yeah.
Even if a policeman comes and starts, you'll be here. You can't do
Yeah,
it, like,
exactly.
because you can't even speak Siswati properly.
Yeah.
But in Zambia, I'll tell you off, like,
Yeah.
hey, no, this is my land, man. You can't do anything.
It's for me. Whenever I travel to Zim,
Uh,
I get to Bridge border post.
yeah,
We cross to Zimbabwe.
yeah,
Immediately, I can't explain it.
yeah,
It's like I don't have to wonder what people are talking about. Because usually, if I'm sitting in a combi right now, it's like I'm in my own world. Because I'm probably missing 90% of the conversation. But when I go to Zimbabwe, I'm like in a combi. I'm part of everything that's happening.
Yes.
Even if someone just shouts, I'm like, what? This is so crazy.
Yeah,
like
but it
I can
feels
hear.
good.
It's like they've removed something that was closing my ears. Now it's just like it's heaven.
You see, that's what No Limit is about.
Yeah.
The whole brand is about to bring that feeling.
Exactly. Like
And I put a lot of that
uh,
into the brand.
into the brand, like
Yeah.
someone feels like this is
Yes.
mine. This is
They
like
need to
the
feel like,
connection
yeah,
to everything.
exactly.
Like it's crazy. I love
Yeah.
it about the brand.
It's deeper. It's spiritual, man.
Yeah, exactly. You can't explain it. You can't
Yeah.
explain it. And I wonder someone rocking the brand in the States. Everything is just happening. It's so busy, and they are rocking this brand, and it's just like home.
And the conversation you have
Mm.
with people, you can't be talking about, riches and everything.
Yeah.
You won't be able to connect with somebody. But
Eh,
we've all suffered.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you talk to somebody,
about
come
your
down
pain,
to
yeah.
earth. You understand. Let them open up and express what they feel. Let them take that out. Once they do that, they will be very grateful that they managed to talk to you.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's one of the platforms that I have. I really dig deep,
dig
like,
deeper, like
how are you? Like, how's the family? What's going on?
yeah.
And we get to talk on that. After that, like, I know I was just checking on you, and then you move on.
No, it's been an interesting conversation. But
Yeah.
my last question before you leave,
Yeah.
how has been the support from your family? Your wife and kids with the brand and everything, and your creativity? Because I think it's one thing that when you're trying to do something,
Yeah.
usually most people don't get the support.
Yeah.
And then just yesterday, I was watching Shark Tank, it's one of my favorite shows.
Yeah.
And this lady, actually, it's Dragon. Yes, it's the Dragon's Den.
Yeah. Oh,
This
yeah, I
lady,
watch a lot of those,
it's crazy. It's my best TV series, I think.
Uh-huh.
So she's like, she was in the military, and then because there's this family issues, like they don't believe in what she's doing now. She's doing a business, and now
Yeah.
she's doing it to prove them. That's like one of her motivation, and I'm just wondering if it's something that's been behind the
Yeah.
brand.
At first,
Yeah.
it was like that. People, they don't believe in you because they don't see what you see. You understand? So
Yeah.
you should never. I think that's where everything happens. People then panic, then they compromise what their God's gift
Yeah,
is
exactly.
to them.
Ah.
Then they start doing something that they don't like. For me, I just told myself, you know what? School, I was not really that good at school.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
as much as I went through it,
Yeah.
but I just loved the feeling of making people feel happy.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah. So I did that. It takes a while for it to sink in. But once it does, then they start like envying you. Like, man, I also want to do this.
Yeah, I want to do this. Yeah.
So
I
then
see.
people come to you because
Uh.
I don't just print the No Limit brand. Sometimes people come to me and like, yo, Ken, I want to start something. And then I won't help you until I know your story. Like, okay, what is your story? Why
what's
do you want to
behind
start
it?
this?
Yeah.
Because then you have to leave this what you're starting,
Exactly.
and you gotta stick to it. It's not gonna be easy. I must be very grateful. My wife actually, she also injected a lot of money
Yeah, in the business.
into the business.
Ah,
Yeah,
no, that's crazy.
so
Yeah.
the family has been very, very supportive.
Supportive.
Yeah,
All right.
and that I'm very grateful.
No, that's dope.
Yeah.
To have a good support system. I think that's
Yeah.
also one thing that I have. People around me that support the grind, and I'm like the black sheep in the family because
We both same here. Trust you, me.
exactly,
Oh,
yeah.
you talk about black sheep.
yeah,
Mm.
because like my family is my dad
Uh,
is a biochemist, so the whole
oh,
family is full
yeah,
of
the
scientists.
pressure, eh?
My brother is a medical doctor. My sister is a biomedical engineer, and then me, boom, I'm
Yeah.
podcasting.
Yeah. But you're meeting amazing people as
Yeah,
well,
I think
that is more fulfilling.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. That's more fulfilling. The people
that will pay off, trust me.
I think that's the best thing. The podcast is just actually an education platform for me.
Yeah.
Because when I meet people like you and you're telling me these whole crazy lessons, like for example today, the biggest thing I've learned, is the network that you have around you and using it, to build the brand.
Yeah.
And as I do other ventures that's not the podcast, I take those lessons and use them, and I could have never learned those things from a book.
That's
and
true.
also sometimes through a book you can't really connect.
No, you can't.
You can't connect.
It'll
you can't
just tell you the theory.
Yeah, it's just
You have
telling
to
you the
go out
thing
there
and
practice.
But through podcasting, I can relate to the stories, and it's just a beautiful journey, man.
I actually found out that some of the definitions of marketing and all that I didn't know.
Yeah.
But somehow I was doing them. I'm like,
Yeah.
I never learned this stuff.
You never learned this thing,
like from the book.
exactly.
I just interacted with people.
And then
the lessons are always there. It's just
Yeah.
that we always think the books is where
exactly.
to go to. Not everybody is a bookworm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the living life like a scientist. You keep on experimenting, and then you find something that works, and then you do it.
Yeah.
And then later on, you discover, oh, this is actually something that's been written down.
Yeah, exactly. And it's fascinating.
Yeah.
God is just bigger than all of us. If you just let it go, like let it be and be yourself, trust me, everything will work out. We always panic thinking we got control of things. We don't have control.
Thank you for saying that. We have no control
No,
of
we
nothing.
don't.
And once you realize that you can't control
Yeah.
anything, you can't even like today. Electricity can just go while we're recording
Yeah.
this podcast. What can we do about
There's
it?
a reason for that.
Yeah.
You can't go around beating yourself up.
Exactly.
It is what it
Yeah,
is.
it is what it is, and then you just move on, man.
Yeah.
No, it's been a pleasure talking
Thanks,
to you,
thanks,
and
yeah.
I really, really appreciate you taking the time. And I hope you guys have learned a lot from No Limit Brand. And if
Yeah.
people want to get in touch with you, where can they find you, man?
Okay, so on social media, it's no_limit brand.
All right.
And on Facebook, it's No Limit Brand, just one word, or just Kennedy Kamenga. I try to also, people must just relate. So
Yeah.
I give them my name.
All right,
Go
I
to
see.
the Facebook page, yeah.
All
And
right.
then on LinkedIn as well, Kennedy Kamenga.
Kennedy Kamenga.
Yes.
I hope you guys you order some fire t-shirts, and if you're
Yeah.
if you're in my close network, you probably have seen me rocking. I just don't say because I don't want you to be wearing what I'm wearing.
Yeah. No, we'll get something personal for them. as
Mine,
well.
there's a
Yeah.
limit to my
Yeah.
clothes.
Yeah. Yours was once off.
Yeah, exactly. No, thank you very much
Thanks, my
for
man.
coming through. I really appreciate you.
Thank you.
And
thank
from
you.
me, Kudzai and Kennedy,
Yeah.
it's been a pleasure. You guys,
For
we'll
sure.
see you on the next episode.
All right, great stuff.